What up, guys? So today I am finally trying out the Bolt Carbine. Now this has been newly buffed and I am using a basic Artificer version. Now I know what you're thinking, what happened to your sniper? Well, nothing. This is a sniper on console, and the reason I'm using this under-leveled sniper is because it already had a head start on leveling up the Bolt Carbine SMG. So I figured, hey, why not? Let's just use the under-leveled sniper. Let's really see how strong Purification is. And let's jump into a lower difficulty operation, specifically Substantial. Because I was curious to see the spawn rates of a few things like spore mines. This is during the spore mine patch, the spore mine patch of 6.0, well, it's 6.1 technically. Regardless, the spore mines have not been patched yet, and it's definitely a tough time running through Tyrant missions. But regardless, this is a classic block sniper build with the Bolt Carbine, and it's very strong. Now, I am still, regardless of how strong the build is, I am on a lower difficulty. But ultimately, that's fine because for whatever reason, Substantial just loves throwing enemies at my at my team here. And the the thing that's nice about Substantial and trying out a new weapon overall, because this is ultimately my first operation with a pure close quarter combat sniper rifle. So it is kind of nice that we are jumping onto Substantial, because Substantial can get pretty wonky. Substantial can throw a lot of mobs at you. And I just think Substantial has a sort of weird reputation of not being as easy as its ranking in the difficulty tier list. And we do see some good moments in this operation. But regardless, the Bolt Carbine is in such a good spot. I had a great time using this weapon, and I can't wait to use it in Absolute. I really want to get it to Relic first, but I genuinely believe that I can bring this weapon into Absolute as an Artificer rarity. But yeah, right there, that was a tough shot. Getting nailed by that sniper was definitely not a good thing. So basically what I wanted to do here was focus down the snipers and go directly at them. But as you see there, I definitely just walked by a bunch of mobs, and hopefully my teammates don't struggle dealing with them. Now, our team right here, we have a heavy and a tactical, and obviously I'm playing sniper. Overall, our DPS is pretty good. Now, for whatever reason, the tactical leaves. I think that was a genuine disconnect for whatever reason. I don't see them struggling with too much up here. I actually think they were able to take out most of the mobs. But there are definitely a couple majors up here. Nothing me and the heavy can't finish, because unfortunately losing a tactical is kind of a big deal. Tactical's a great class to have on your team right now. Just frankly because of Scan. Scan's really good. Now that was a big mistake. Holy cow. If this was on a tougher difficulty, I definitely would have been a little upset at myself there. But yeah, I dropped the I put the Melta right on the ground, and I think I tried to detonate it, but what happened was the heavy hit it with splash damage. Regardless, it's a brain dead. It's a pretty brain dead Melta. Oh, now this is definitely me getting a lot of damage. But Purification, that was Purification right there. I just healed my entire health bar from using camo, which is kind of crazy. And not only that, you also get the added bonus of actually going into camo and disengaging from the fight, so you can basically reposition yourself and have a better moment to attack. Now this is just a Biovore just kind of scurrying around. We're just chasing it. Biovores are actually kind of funny, dude. They at first they started to creep me out, and then they kind of started to frustrate me because of how often they just run away and, you know, spore mines and all that. But now they're just kind of funny. I feel like they're just kind of like a weird enemy. Whenever it shows up, I'm always like, oh, hey, it's a Biovore. I actually like don't really mind seeing them as often. Spore mines are just going to be an issue regardless. See, like, for example, those are not Biovore spore mines, and they are definitely way more threatening than the spore mines we get from the Biovore. There I'm throwing a shock grenade just to kind of dwindle down the mobs. I was a tad bit worried of getting overwhelmed there. But yeah, I like the Biovores. Biovores are kind of fun to fight. And the disc shamans, I gotta say, they're a little bit easier to fight now as well. So I think the new enemies are actually in a pretty good spot. Oh, Communion of Fire is definitely fun. Definitely a fun build I have going on with my team here. We have some pretty good team synergy. The Bolt Carbine is a very good weapon at taking out gonks. I've really enjoyed this weapon. I'm definitely going to level it up fully. At least that's my plan. And it's obviously a really good weapon at close range, so it's perfect to pair with the blocking combat knife. I know a lot of people basically use this setup this way, you know, with the Bolt Carbine and then the blocking combat knife. It's a very strong setup. It's a very strong setup, and I'm getting a lot better with blocking and just being a little bit patient with it. Now that was me trying to shoot the Bolt Carbine, and then it didn't have any ammo, and then I got hit. That had nothing to do with the blocking, the blocking patterns there. Blocking is actually really good to just stay alive. If you are, you know, the more you start using blocking, the more you start to see that it actually protects you pretty well. See, like even here with those swings. Now, obviously fencing would be better off when it's like a 1v1, but I'm starting to notice the cracks in fencing, basically the opportunity fencing has for gun strikes when you are surrounded by majors, because you can get a nice parry and go for a gun strike, but you might trade. And the thing is, with the blocking weapons, you don't really trade. Even though, I mean, you can, but the explosion effect from the initial blocking hit that, you know, basically is, you know, the fully buffed blocking hit, it has an area of effect attack that's actually a little bit better than the gun striking. You know, when you get a gun strike, you can push your enemies back a little bit. The blocking effect feels like it's a little bit stronger at pushing back enemies. So you can potentially get more room to pretty much navigate the fight with blocking and nailing those, you know, obviously those full charge blocking hits. Now, I know fencing's still really powerful, but I'm just starting to notice, being surrounded by majors, that what happens is you will get a parry, and then you'll get another parry, and you try to look for moments for gun strikes, and it's kind of difficult to basically get away from those situations without receiving any damage. Whereas blocking, you can sit there and block like 3 different whip combos and still just hit them directly back and push them all back and then set up the same chain again. You just have to be careful with enemies to your side with blocking. I feel like in fencing, you're kind of at a good spot to just turn around and parry. So as much as people, you know, I don't know why I'm talking about blocking so much right now, but as much as people say like fencing keeps you alive better, it's kind of like a, it really depends on your play style and the opportunities you take in the fight, because you can definitely get a gun strike and then basically just trade and then also lose the armor you get from either. Yeah, well, actually, you don't even get armor from the gun strikes unless you kill the enemy with it. So it's like with blocking, you can potentially get away with trading with enemies more often because you do get your armor back. Now here, those are some nice blocks right there. I was definitely also able to get some Bolt Carbine shots as well. This Hive Tyrant fight is actually pretty clean. Overall, Substantial was actually really fun. And this, right there, that was pretty nice. I should have went into camo and held onto that a little bit longer. Substantial definitely threw us a couple of those moments that were kind of crazy with spore mines, and this sniper that I have that I'm using right now is only level 8, but I had some great moments with purification. So purification is definitely one of those perks that can help sniper punch up into difficulty. I'm pretty sure for substantial you need to be, you don't need to be, but they recommend level 10. And I didn't want to jump into Ruthless immediately because it was kind of a new build for me, especially since I'm not this is an under-leveled sniper, so I'm not used to not having like all of the sniper perks that can really help out damage. So I really didn't want to jump into Ruthless because I wasn't too sure what to expect. But that was a nice chunk of damage with the Shadow Stab and then the camo just helping me land that shot. Also, a good perfect parry. Well, perfect dodge right there. Now, perfect dodging, still very, very good with snipers. Even if it's under level, just perfect dodging is just really good regardless. Yeah, so we were able to take out this Hive Tyrant without much issue. I was getting, you know, a lot of, you can do the perfect dodges with blocking, and that really helps out the overall survivability of the build. But yeah, Bolt Carbine, really good. I know I'm a little late to the Bolt Carbine party, but I was really impressed with this weapon. I'm going to try my best to level up this sniper in order to use this Bolt Carbine in Absolute, but we will see. We will see. This was definitely a fun operation to get used to a new sniper build with.